Far out in the uncharted backwaters of the unfashionable end of the western spiral arm of the galaxy lies a small, unregarded yellow sun. Orbiting this at a distance of roughly 92 million miles is an utterly insignificant little blue-green planet whose ape-descended lifeforms are so amazingly primitive that two of them still think doing a podcast called Digital Watches Are a Pretty Neat Idea is a pretty neat idea. These podcasters have, or rather had, a problem, which was this. Actually, this is the solution.
This hedgehog, this pair of Don Alfonso tweezers, this idea, this podcast. Two men who thought it was a pretty neat idea. Dreamers, thinkers, speculative philosophers, or as their wives would have it, idiots.
So, Jeff, what is this?
Well, Brian, this sounds like it's some kind of Ren Fair nightmare, and hopefully it isn't as murdery as Wendemore.
Right.
Welcome to song number 3, your theme song number 3
I love it.
Of the Digital Watches Are a Pretty Neat Idea podcast.
That's fantastic. I absolutely love the variety we're getting out of that AI technology. It's pretty cool, huh?
Absolutely. I can't believe how much fun I'm having. And I guess I want to know if anybody has stuck around at the end and listened all the way to the end to find out that we also added a song at the end to replace our outro music.
Well, I know I did. And I really loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, that's one we might keep for a while, but we'll put the wives back eventually, I guess.
They like to be involved, you know?
Oh, yeah, there's nothing she likes more than knowing she's part of this podcast. So which podcast is this?
What podcast is this, Jeff?
I think it's the one that we're going to do about Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency comic book. Which one is it? Salmon of Doubt. Number 3.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am as sure as I can be.
The Salmon of Doubt, number 3.
So we'll start off looking at this cover, which is pretty impressive.
It is, and quite weird, isn't it? I mean, what does this have to do with the story so far?
Well, we know that the hot drummer from the end of the last issue.
Oh, yes, pararibulitis. That's Amanda, right?
Correct. Well, we assume so. She hasn't been named yet, but if they follow the television show, that would be Amanda.
Right, Todd's sister.
And that could be Todd putting a blanket around her, the knight in shining armor or whatever he happens to be, but
right.
I don't recognize him. I don't know who he is. But Dirk is in the back wondering if they need a fire extinguisher.
Not obviously providing one, but wondering if they want one.
Yes. Which is leading me to believe that he can see the fire.
That's true. That's true.
Which would not be pararibulitis.
That's a very odd thing. In fact, you're right.
So, because the guy that's holding her and putting a blanket around her seems completely unconcerned about the fact that she is completely ablaze.
On fire, yep. Well, I guess we'll find out more once we get inside the pages of this comic book.
So we'll go to page number 1 and see a brief recap of the story so far. For the first time that I've recognized, there's new and different information on this previously page.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
There's a little box with some new information. It's kind of a summary of what Dirk is thinking. And Dirk is thinking, I wanted to use Reg's time machine to investigate my childhood, but Sally got transported and met child me, whilst I met a girl on fire. So those were the two major things that has happened before this.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then they basically have panels taking out of previous issues that depict Dirk wanting to go back, Reg agreeing, Sally being transported. They put a part of the Rowdy 3 in here because the Rowdy 3 was shooting up a helicopter the last time we met them, and the escape from the institution that all of those special people were held. And then Dirk has met Sally, and then their girl, and then there is the girl, Amanda, we're guessing, on fire.
Exactly.
And also, I think for the first time, they have a rewording of what Reg said in issue number 1. They've reworked his word bubble to be a little more succinct and fits with the summary. So we'll go to page number 2. And once again, it is all of the people who will be appearing in this issue. Well, we have Amanda Bronsman and Todd Bronsman, so we were correct in guessing that it was those two.
Yeah, that's true.
Peasbottom the Goblin is going to make another appearance.
Right, and then we have a new character, at least I believe it's a new character, Kimberly, a princess, and she's mad.
Yes. Well, that was the crazy insane girl from a previous issue. Remember the goblin responds to her? She is like its master.
Oh, correct. Mm-hmm.
And then we've got Splat Haley, Dirk at age 6, and the Rowdy 3, Colonel Riggins, Reg, Bernice, Sally, and Dirk. So all the usuals plus a couple extra. So let's see what happened to the girl on fire on page 3. So we don't get to find out what happened to the hot girl, the hot girl drummer, because we flash back to 2 hours ago before she caught on fire where she's playing on stage.
And she is playing on stage, that's for sure. The first 3 panels show her playing the drums like there's no tomorrow, that's for sure.
Yeah. She is tearing them up. Band is impressed. Called it the full whiplash. Not exactly sure what that means in drummer slang.
Don't know that one.
But Amanda's starting to sweat, and she says, I gotta call my brother. So we'll move to page 4. So this is a page that I really didn't expect. Having watched the TV show first, I have ideas of what's happening. Like they showed Amanda on fire, and then they flash back to 2 hours ago, and the first page is saying, I've got to call my brother. To me, that meant I thought Amanda knew she was going to have an attack, and she wanted to call Todd to, have him talk her through it like he always has.
Right, but this appears to be prior to the concert conversation, because it's a full-page bleed picture of Todd having a conversation with Amanda. The phone's ringing and he picks up. He's in the hallway and he's describing why he isn't able to attend the concert, and he knows that she's going to do a great job.
Right.
And at this point, he's explaining why the pararhybulitis is preventing him from going. So we kind of know by that context clue that this is before Todd revealed to Amanda that he, in fact, did not have pararhybulitis.
This is before he pretended to be cured.
Right.
Because Amanda doesn't have it yet.
Right. Correct. So this is like previously. So this is actually before the concert. So it would be hours before the 2 hours before.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So at least at this point, the bottom part of the panel, she's saying goodbye to him, and she's dressed and ready for the concert.
Right. And we are learning that Todd was a real schmuck because he's explaining that this so far unnamed disease, they haven't said pararhybulitis yet. He just calls it freaking disease.
Right.
Is preventing him from attending her concert and gigging with her anymore as he's sneaking out of his apartment to go do whatever it is he's going to do. So he's not shut in for the day.
Nope.
He's going out.
Right.
in his Ninjas Killed My Penguin t-shirt.
Which I love.
I think I'm going to make one of those. I'm going to steal the idea and make a Ninjas Killed My Penguin and see if anybody in the world can connect that.
Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine how they possibly could. But I tell you what you really would have to do to make this shirt like super terrific. I don't remember the name of his band, but if you put the name of his band like a concert t-shirt on the back with some fictional dates.
What, the Mexican Funeral?
Yeah, Mexican Funeral. If you put the Mexican Funeral logo on the back with fake concert dates, like in obscure little towns in different parts of the country.
Right.
And ninjas killed.
We'll create that together. Yes.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Okay. So we will go to page 5.
Well, at least now they've added the name of the disease.
Yes. It's the name of this issue or this chapter.
Mm-hmm. Holy crap, that's a lot of smoking.
So it appears that Todd snuck out of a pretty big party to talk to Amanda in a quiet place, so she didn't know what he was doing. And now the call is over, so he has re-entered the party, which is basically smoke-filled.
Of all kinds of smoke. Oh my gosh.
So there's a table full of rolling papers and bongs, and everybody's got a beer. People are making out. Other people are taking pictures of them making out. And Todd comes back and says, "Light it up," and starts smoking a bong. And what are they shouting?
Suck it. Suck it.
All right. So we'll go to page 6.
And now, on page 6, it's now.
It is now.
So this is the part of the movie that's now? That's happening right now?
Right now.
Oh my gosh. Thank God for Mel Brooks. I mean, I know I'm going to be disappointed, but I gotta say, I don't think I can even hardly wait. Spaceballs 2. I mean, come on, guys.
Right. I know. So even though it says it's now, it's still before the end of the last issue.
Right. Because it's just as Dirk is entering the party and he's walking up to the, well, originally I thought it was the bartender with the mohawk.
Yes.
Asking about the location of Sally Mills.
Correct.
So we're almost consistent with the end of the last comic.
Yes. And Amanda is playing the drums and she's singing in the same lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Bring me up to the burn of the light. Fly me high, the wax melts, I don't fight. And then we hear she's having a fit. Call an ambulance. And Dirk looks over toward the stage. Or is it Elvis?
Right, that hair is something else, right?
And those sideburns.
Oh my gosh.
So we will go on to page 7.
So as you predicted, there's something a little strange here. Because in the top panel, you can see Dirk's vision of Amanda. And it's kind of a sort of a split screen where, his vision is kind of sliced out in a pie shape where he can see Amanda on fire.
Right.
And there's also the bottom and the top section that shows normal conditions. Amanda's, the bottom half of her legs, etc. And then there's another screen where she's actually on the floor, kind of writhing in pain and such.
Right.
And then what does our hero do?
He grabs a fire extinguisher off of the wall and sprays her for no good reason, according to everybody else in the crowd.
Exactly. We get the lurch of a stream of fire extinguisher liquid all over the entire stage.
So I don't know how I feel about Dirk being able to see the effects of the pararibulitis. Because he couldn't in the TV show. That wasn't part of it.
Nope, not at all. But this is our alternate Dirk.
Right. No, that's fine. And they can be totally different takes on the same type of situation. But on one hand, I really like what they can do if this is real, because he can help her a lot more when he knows exactly what's going on.
Right.
But he's going to do a lot of things that people think are crazy, which I guess is right up his alley.
Exactly. Right on line with his character.
So the whole band is standing around her having no idea what to do. But like you said, Dirk took over. So let's see what happens to him on page 8. So as I thought, the crowd has turned on him. But the reason they've turned on him is because he also sprayed all of them with the fire extinguisher foam. And the bartender/bouncer is going to give him a beating.
And Amanda stands up, covered with foam, and she says, "He saved me. I was having an attack."
And Dirk says, "An attack of what?" So we will go to page 9. So on this page, we've moved outside, an ambulance has arrived, and even though she was really never on fire and Dirk put her hallucination out, they're still going to take her to the hospital.
Correct.
And she wants Dirk to stay with her until her brother comes. As Amanda is laying on the gurney looking up at Dirk and her band and the EMT, she's saying that this pararibulitis runs in her family. Todd also has it, but nobody has ever seen it, and they all think he's faking it. But you, Dirk, can see it, and I guess it was my turn to get it.
Right.
And they name it.
They do. Pararibulitis. And here, the ambulance driver, or at least one of the assistants, is closing the back door, saying that only family can ride in the back of the ambulance.
Yep.
And Amanda's begging Dirk to join her at the hospital so that he could help Todd. And I love her t-shirt, though. I mean, it's pretty simple, but it's a graphic of a skull and crossbones.
Yes.
But I gotta say, what's our favorite part of this page? What's the Easter egg we love the best, huh?
Well, the best part is that the name on the building in the background behind the ambulance is Fenchurch. Now, I don't know if that is the venue that she's playing at.
I love it.
Fenchurch falls right in line with us.
That's right.
So we will move to page 10 and 11 because it is a double page.
Right. Wow, this is pretty awesome page. I mean, again, the graphic style in this comic book and this series of comic books has been exceptional compared to
absolutely
the first comic books I think that we reviewed on our podcast here. But like you said, it's a banner page. The center part kind of is a picture of the party in progress. And on the top and the bottom are little snippets of what Todd's going through as he receives a phone call from Amanda. And the little panels on the top of the page are like flying off in jagged angles. And
right.
You could tell us what's going on this page, Jeff.
Well, as Amanda is being driven away in the ambulance, she's looking back at Dirk and she's calling Todd. But Todd, being at the party, certainly isn't going to answer, so she left a message. And now he listened to her message, and his eyes get really wide because he realized that his name is Todd Brotzman, and he is the worst brother in the world. So he has been draining the family of money and skating with no responsibilities for a long time, pretending to have this disease that he found out his sister just got for real. So the party is over.
Nicely phrased, Jeff. Literally and figuratively, as Todd
Yes.
is throwing out every piece of the paraphernalia involved with the party. There's booze flying and joints and bongs and everything are being tossed out the window.
Yes. And he's in tears and he's telling everybody to leave, and half of them are offended and the other half is going, "Oh, that Todd."
Again, beautifully drawn page.
So we will go to page 12. So as we know, Todd has come to the realization that he is a selfish liar, and he swears that he's going to change all that tonight. Except that when he gets to see Amanda, you can tell that she sees Todd as her hero and a literal knight in shining armor.
Right.
And tells him how brave he is, and this disease is way worse than she could have ever expected, and does not know if she can handle it as well as he has, to which Todd now can't tell her he's been faking.
Right.
So he will continue to be the worst brother in the world.
Exactly. But this page actually allows us to reflect back to the cover page, because now we do see Todd in what Amanda sees as his knight in shining armor clothes, with the cape blowing behind him and his
rose petals.
Rose petals and gauntlets and sword and all.
Yes. But Dirk hasn't made it to the hospital yet. Or at least he's not in her room.
Right.
So we'll go to page 13.
So here we are on page 13, and we begin to see the worlds collide, right?
Yes. The reason Dirk isn't at the hospital is because the cab that's in Seattle will not take British pounds as currency.
Mm-hmm.
And here is a line that is used that sounds exactly like the line Dirk would use in the TV show.
Right.
Not in the books. So Dirk, trying to get a ride from the cabbie, is saying that he only has a tenner, but it's in pounds, but pounds are better than dollars, so you should want it more. Currency. Math. Cabbie's like, "I don't take pounds."
Right.
But then it seems that Dirk has seen somebody he might recognize across the street who's called Colonel Riggins. So he gives the cabbie £10 for his trouble.
Cabbie takes off, calls him an idiot.
Yes. And Dirk sneaks on over to the Fenchurch auditorium, I guess we'll call it. Looking at the bouncer, talking to a man that he says, "I know him."
Right, so this is where worlds collide. Now, again, in the comic book version of Dirk here, we don't think he had this childhood. Obviously, he didn't have this childhood. So where his sketchy memory is intersecting with the Colonel, we don't know.
Right, so he thinks he knows him because his false memories have put him with this guy. But no, he, in this iteration of Dirk, did not go through that. So we'll go to page 14.
Again, I flip to this page and I get surprised. I mean, graphically, I want to call it stunning, but it shocked me. So I kind of have to say that, you know.
Right.
We see Dirk holding on to the edge of what looks like a door, I guess, sneaking around it, and that's top to bottom on the left-hand side of the page. A little bit of comment that there you'll get into, but then on the door itself, there are inset 6 vertical panels that describe an interaction between Colonel Riggins and the bouncer. And it's very well done. It zooms in from top to bottom on Colonel Riggins, and I just like the way this page is laid out. It's pretty cool. Yes,
it's very nice. I can't explain exactly why, but when they did it correctly. So as we surmised, Dirk is saying to himself that he knows this person from his dreams. So he doesn't know him really. He just knows him from his fake memories. And the conversation between Colonel Riggins and the bouncer is just basically back and forth of what happened.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Colonel is starting off angry, and then as it gets to the point that they decide that maybe she was just on a bad trip, he's kind of calm and resigned. But then he's told that there was somebody who could actually see the fire and put her out with a fire extinguisher, and then he gets progressively mad again until he's pretty much furious, and he wants the bouncer to describe the guy that put her out with the fire extinguisher in intense detail.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And even here, these timeline stories just drive me crazy, as you know. But what I find interesting here now is, so far in this comic book, we know that Sally is with the very young Dirk, who got himself out of the asylum, or
right,
the place where he is being held. So this Colonel Riggins was probably in the previous scenes when Dirk originally escaped, but at this point, Dirk should be an adult. And what I kind of think is a little bit funny about that is, if he's an American colonel and Dirk has been imprisoned and living on the run in America since he was 6 or 7 years old, from whenever it was that we saw him last with Sally, I don't know that he would be continued to be described as a British guy. I mean,
right.
I know that those are some formative years that he would have been in England, and his, even 5 or 6 or whatever he was. But according to this, he's been trapped in Seattle since he was 6.
Right.
So I don't know. Kind of weird. Side note.
Right. And I also like the fact that if Dirk at this point walked around the door and up to them, the bouncer would point at him and say, "There he is," and the colonel would go, "That's not him."
Right. Exactly.
Because he's looking for a different adult Dirk.
Yes, right. And even, well, if we followed along with the story here, the adult Dirk we're looking for would be younger than the Dirk hiding behind the door.
Right. Right.
Interesting.
So we'll go to page 15. On this page, we have jumped to the room between, which is the room with all the TV screens.
Right.
And we see this weirdly colored picture from one of the last panels in the last issue, where Sally is hugging the little Dirk, or little Sflad, saying he's so special. And the reason that it's colored odd is because it's actually on the TV screen. And then Sally's out of the TV screen and laying on the floor, but still dreaming about her interaction with the young Sflad, and doesn't know where he is anymore. Like, all of a sudden, he's gone and she's alone. And she starts talking to the TVs again.
Right.
And the TVs are telling her that she is an important figure in Sflad's life, and Sally is saying, "That's not my Sflad." And the TVs are saying there are many Sflads, there are many actual timelines, past, present, future. Told her she wanted to know the man Dirk gently, so she is going to show her his beginnings, all his beginnings.
And she refers to the network of TV screens as a hi-fi set.
Right.
And she can't believe that she's listening to a hi-fi set.
Right. And at the very end, the TVs say, "Also, I'm not a hi-fi." So just when you think you're starting to get a handle on things, they change course and take you in a totally different direction.
Right. And the TV screen says to her, "Choose another screen."
Oh, so then Sally's going to touch another screen and jump into another section of Dirk's life. So let's see where she goes on page 16. Nowhere.
Nowhere is right. Or specifically, not to this scene.
Right.
Oh, gosh.
So here we've jumped to Reg's bathroom where he
Yes,
is staring into the toilet,
Mm-hmm.
wondering how he's going to get Dirk back.
And how do you think he's going to get Dirk back this time, Jeff? Have you got any ideas?
I believe he's just got to reverse the polarity of the U-bend.
Oh my gosh. Oh, every trope. Oh my gosh. How many times have we heard that on a sci-fi show?
No kidding. It's the biggest joke in sci-fi-dom.
I guess. And at this point, they say it so many times. It's like they have to be doing it on purpose, right?
And I believe it all originated with Doctor Who.
Oh, it probably did. Yep. I bet you did.
So Reg is messing with the two faucets, and all of a sudden he says that he sees unparalleled timelines, and he was afraid of that. And the toilet water explodes out of the toilet, Dirk along with it.
Whoosh. Oh, I love it.
So we'll go to page 17. This is a pretty straightforward page where Dirk and Reg are having a conversation, and Dirk's got a blanket wrapped around him to keep him warm and dry. And Reg found out that the colonel that Dirk saw was from his dreams, and that the time machine doesn't just go forward and backward, but it will also jump between timelines. And Dirk is thinking that things are even more than usually interconnected. Memories, Sally, this other timeline with Amanda and her fascinating disease, and this dreadful colonel. He's like, wait, something's wrong. I can't feel her. Suddenly, I can always feel her. And I was wondering who he was thinking of. Was it Sally?
Mm-hmm.
Was it Amanda?
Mm-hmm.
But no, it wasn't.
Nope. He feels, all of a sudden in a panic, where's Bernice?
His cat is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go to page 18.
It's the ever-linking cat. Oh my gosh.
So we reached the final page of this issue, and we are in the Mad Princess's room, and it's Kimberly with her menagerie.
Mm-hmm.
Evidently, she is a collector of stray cats and other creatures like alligators and bats and octopus and platypus and bumblebees, and she seems to be fusing them together. So we've got an alligator with a cat head and bat wings and all kinds of just grotesque creatures.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely grotesque creatures. It's interesting on this page, and that's probably what confused me on the Persona page. This is the second time we've seen this character, but she wasn't defined by name or otherwise in the previous time.
No.
And even here on this page, as we can see here, she isn't defined either, except by the troll as being a princess.
Right.
But we're not given her name, although we know it because she's on the Persona page. And we, or at least I, falsely assumed earlier when we saw these transfigured animals that it had something to do with the Men in the Machine or some variant thereof, or she was the leader of that group or something like that. But it appears, at least at this moment, that she is her own character and has some very bizarre ideas of what life should be.
Yes.
And frankly, these imagery is rather grotesque in some cases.
Very. Very, very.
There are, in the bottom of the page, there's goldfish cats.
Yep.
And some pretty hideous-looking distorted cats, like a double cat, with two heads.
Yes. Well, the bottom left has a snake with chicken legs and a hairless cat head.
Right. And a bumblebee, and a wasp with a cat head.
Right.
In another scene. You've already described the platypus. And you're the more of an expert when it comes to Doctor Who. But in the middle of the page, top-ish, there is a cat that's kind of round with little, like, antenna-like suction cuppy things on the top. Isn't that reminiscent of one of the Doctor Who villains?
I'm not seeing a Doctor Who villain. Not that there isn't one, but one isn't popping into mind.
Right. I don't know why I think that, but when I see that image of, the kind of the big round face of that cat with the tentacles on the top of its head, I'm reminded of a Doctor Who villain. I don't know why.
Right. And this is actually kind of funny, where we're looking around at all of these disgusting creatures that have been combined and fused together.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a platypus unchanged, because the platypus is God's joke, where he took all these different animals and put them together. So I like that he has thrown a platypus in here and didn't make any changes to it. Like, it's bad enough all by itself that we don't need to do anything more to it.
Although I'm not sure. Does it have a cat's tail, maybe?
No, that's coming from the creature in front of him.
Oh, okay.
See? That cat, if you follow its tail, that would be...
No, that cat's tail.
Oh, no, that one comes forward with a spike. It's got like a...
Right, and it's actually the tail of a scorpion.
Yeah. So maybe they took away the beaver tail from the platypus and gave it...
Cat's tail.
A cat tail.
Right.
Oh!
Yeah. And my favorite joke, or actually observation, because I've always thought it to be absolutely 100% true, that the platypus is an elephant designed by committee.
Right. Yes.
So, I do find that fascinating. It's a fascinating animal. What a grotesque scene here, Jeff.
And that's what they leave us with.
What a way to end the page.
Right.
And poor Bernice looks like she's next up in the transformational lexicon here.
Right. Oh, we didn't say the only words on the page.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Yeah, you can. We need to finish it up, so we're ready when you are.
And amongst this whole grotesque scene is only one little word bubble that Kimberly is shouting. And she is saying, "My pussy power monster." So she likes making monsters out of cats.
Mm-hmm. In the bottom right-hand corner, we see "To be continued" next month in Salmon of Doubt number 4. She's entirely mad.
Yes. And that is what we will be discussing next time.
You mean I don't get to say, "What's next"?
You can, but you can say it after I've already told you.
Now I get to say, "Thanks for telling me what's next, Jeff."
Right, see? Fixed it on the fly.
Oh, you got it, buddy. Well, this has been interesting. I don't know how this little menagerie is going to play into the end of this episodes. Here, what we have, how many more books in this series?
There will be 6 more.
6 more? Wow, that's a lot.
Yes.
That's a lot. Well, Jeff, I'm going to say that this is the end.
That's my line. Thank you for listening to this. A new episode is released on the first Thursday of every month. Visit our website at digitalwatchesareaprettyneatidea.buzzsprout.com. While there, you can find links to all of my Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy inspired t-shirt designs. You can contact us via email at digitalwatchespodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on YouTube and Facebook at Digital Watches Are a Pretty Neat Idea. You can message us on Twitter, or should I say X, at Watches Idea, and our Instagram is Watches Idea Podcast.
This has been a Fruits for Thought production, darling. This has been a Fruits for Thought production, darling. This has been a Fruits for Thought production, darling. This has been a Fruits for Thought production, darling. This has been a Fruits for Thought production, darling.